Hello. My name is Eileen Felix, and today we are getting real with Eileen about girl stuff. And actually, I've been meeting a lot, and I'm super hungover right now, by the way. So you're gonna see me um, doing some stuff to my face because I have like excruciating headache. But I've been meeting a lot of dads lately, girl dads. And I just thought this would be a cute little video to make for guys who are having daughters. And I have another sister, and my dad basically took care of us um, as a single father after I turned 9. And it was kind of difficult as a girl to have just my dad. He didn't teach me how to like brush my hair. He didn't teach me how to like take care of myself or have like a skin routine. He didn't teach me how to like uh do things that I guess girly girls do, like makeup. My mom was around. People always ask me like, was your mom around at all? Yeah, she was around. She's like a weekend mom. So whereas most people have weekend dads, I had a weekend mom, which is why I want to share with you guys how I was able to kind of figure out, thankfully during this time of Aquarius, we have YouTube and so many creators that are willing to share with us their routine, not only their like makeup routine, but their hair routine, their self-care routine, their skin routine, how they exfoliate, how they dry brush. um, you know More and more women are talking about like that soft life. And so for you girl dads, this is just a little intro to like the girl world, right? So when it comes to becoming a girl and becoming being a girl and becoming a woman, there's like obviously like they're gonna get their period. People always say like, oh my god, hormonal, like girls watch out. Like I always hear like horrible things about like having a daughter more than having like a son. And truth be told, for me, I have a son. I have a 9-year-old, and truth be told, boys are just easier to ignore. They're not necessarily easier to deal with, they're just easier to ignore. Okay? And so with girls, you can't, really ignore them. I mean, I felt pretty ignored growing up by my dad, but like a lot of people generally don't ignore their daughters. They pay close attention because they don't want them to get pregnant. They don't want them to have a boyfriend. They don't want them to have like any real like freedom. Not only that, but like internalized misogyny and patriarchy has taught society in all to control women at a very young age too. Like right away they'll teach daughters, like people will be more stern with a child that's a daughter than a child that's a boy. Not only because the whole boys will be boys thing, but because people expect so much out of women. Actually, this is like culturally like worldwide, because although the US is not as hardcore about this, in certain places, I just met someone from Brazil, and she was saying that in Brazil, all the women do like everything. Like all the women do like the cooking, the cleaning, the house stuff. Like all the women do everything in the house, and the guys like don't. They don't participate with their kids. They don't take action when it comes to anything like that. Um, So that just goes to show like the sentiment of, culturally, it's not just here. Culturally, it's like a lot of places, right? Like obviously, like, one of the places that we always hear about is like certain parts of Africa, the Congo, certain parts in Middle East, you know, but it's all over really, where people will treat your daughter less. They'll treat her with more responsibility than the guy next to her. Um, and that's one thing that a lot of boy dads like don't realize until they become, I'm sorry, a lot of girl dads don't realize that this is like a whole world for women that they never really entrenched on until they have a daughter. And I think it's very interesting, and at least they're becoming more interested in it, because if you're gonna have a daughter, the least you could do is like be more interested in like how that works, you know, because growing up, girl world is way different than growing up in boy world. And it's not just like catty bitchiness, makeup, hair, you know, those superficial things. It's more than that. It's more deep than just like, oh, getting my hair done and my nails done and like my makeup. Now, for me, I grew up very much reversed, right? So for me, I grew up very much like I had to hone in on my skills, like logical skills, more my skills on the way I speak to people, the way I present myself, the way I work, how good of a worker I am, how reliable I am, and obviously resilient, because I grew up with my dad, so I mirrored him more than anything, right? And then I took on his work ethic a lot more than my mom. As I'm doing this video, I'm gonna brush my hair. So it's not just about looking pretty, it's not just about having, you know, good hair, it's not just about that superficial stuff, but that definitely helps, because having you know, looking good, taking care of yourself, looking well cared for as a woman does give you more equity socially. So socially you do get more equity when it comes to looking nice. People treat you with more respect. People you know, see you as more put together, obviously, like as a girl, as a woman. Now, this is something I had to learn the hard way, because as much as I was able to accomplish things, I wasn't able to accomplish more. I kept hitting like a glass ceiling, because I wasn't taking care of myself in a way that girls usually do. So, people weren't really taking me seriously and weren't really like listening to what I had to say, and didn't really believe I was as reliable as I was. And it sucks to say this out loud, but it is something that people really care about, because it's something that does, you know, it does show like what are your values, what are you, you know, are you, do you have the resources, capability to take care of yourself, you know? Like obviously someone's not going to trust a bum as much as someone who's like put together, right? So the only reason I bring up all that is because that is something that I had to really, really work on, really, really focus on in the last actually couple years. Like the last, I'm 33 now, and it's something that I had to really, really figure out using all the resources that we have. You know, now that we have TikTok, Instagram, beyond Facebook and YouTube, we're able to really find information, right? So this one girl was teaching about foundation and how to find uh, your perfect color, skin color. I'm Latina, obviously. My dad's Mexican, my mom's Salvadorian, but I'm American. I grew up here in the U.S. So I had to figure out, okay, well, this tone is too light, this tone is too dark, and then I had to put them together, low tones, high tones, and then, you know, different videos from different women on YouTube, on TikTok showing me how to even grow my hair. You know, that was a big thing for me, like a big thing where my hair would not grow past this length. It wouldn't grow this past this length, like, at all. And the last time it was able to grow past this length, I was like 15 or 16 or something. And, you know, I was able, through TikTok, actually, in various TikTok videos, figure out how to grow my hair. And it's so interesting that those little things have really helped me in my, you know, finding better friends, people who have it more together, people who are going to take me more seriously, like, as a person, like, people who are going to be more reliable because they see me as reliable, right? So, because I don't look like a bum, I'm not attracting, like, bum me friends, you know? And I have my own small business. I'm a massage therapist, and I also, you know, I have my own apartment. I pay for my own car. Like, being a woman isn't just about looking pretty and seemingly having it together and seemingly having the right tone of shade on your foundation or having long hair. It's about being able to find the resources, find your skill set, find what you're good at, and really put it out there and shine your light, right? And there's a lot of things that dim women's light down. And one of the reasons I'm making all these videos is so that I can reach out to people and also share that this is possible. I didn't grow up with a mom, but here I am using all the resources that are available to me at during this time, 2023, you know, 2020, 2019, like, this whole time, little by little, you know, I had to learn how to do these different things in order to level myself up, polish myself up a bit, you know, even like waxing at home, like, it's easy, it's a lot, it lasts longer than shaving, right? So I had to do that earlier, and that's something that, you know, I've even done in front of my son to be like, this is what people do, you know, hold my hand, this is gonna hurt. Now I'm already used to it, but, you know, in the beginning, my son was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, because this is just something, like, you have to do when you're grown up. And to the point that the other day he saw that my hair was getting a little long, and he was just like, you have really long hair. And I was like, I know, Papa, I'm gonna have to deal with that in a little bit. So men think, like, the way that we look as women, the way, you know, that other women effortlessly seem to look, isn't just effortless, you know? And then the whole, like, 50-50 thing, and you know, the value of a woman is her presence, it's her energy, it's the way that she can multiply a man's success, a man's person. She can incubate something so small and multiply it 100-fold, right? And she can only do that when she's in her feminine and when she's taken care of, and when she is able to shine her light and feel good about herself, right? So as a boy, as a girl dad, I keep saying boy because I'm a boy mom, my bad. As a girl dad, that's something that I would recommend and suggest for all girl dads to do. What way can I support my daughter to help her shine her light, to to work on her real skill set? I mean, even if her skill set is nothing to do with the kitchen, nothing to do with cooking, nothing to do with cleaning, nothing to do with, you know, that's one thing my dad told me when I was like 12. He was making us do chores, and he was like, and that's something I wasn't really used to doing because my grandma was there, my aunts were there, like, we had people taking care of us. So when they weren't around, obviously when I was old enough, he expected me to do it. But did anyone really teach me? No. Did anyone really guide me? No. So that's why as a boy mom, I always also show that my son, I teach him to do things. This is not a gender thing. This is a skill set thing. Like, can you feed yourself? Whether you're a boy or girl, Can you fold your clothes? Can you do laundry? You know, my son's on the spectrum, and he is well more than capable of doing things around the house, you know? So even that, like, there are ways to teach your kids how to survive on their own, because you never know what's going to happen to you. You might not be here tomorrow. I might not be here tomorrow. So that's something I always keep in mind as a parent, right? And as a girl dad, you do kind of have to, learn about, sorry, you do kind of have to learn about girl stuff. Like, you kind of do have to learn about, you see all these dads at like the Taylor Swift concert, and they're like looking miserable, because they're with their daughters. And, obviously they don't want to leave their daughters by themselves in a concert, so they're going. But I do things for my son. Like, I look into the things he likes and why he likes those things in order to somehow not only bond with him, but also to kind of like see, okay, what's up with this? What's up with that? What's that about? To have an interest in your daughter's things is not going to make you gay. It's going to make you a good parent, because that's another thing, guys. I don't know why you guys are like so weird about that. Um, and it's a good way to bond with your daughter. And you know what? You can also cross her over from girl stuff into the stuff that you like, because there's a lot of girls who like doing shit like fishing, a lot of girls who like doing stuff like golfing, a lot of girls who like doing stuff, like puzzles and games and escape rooms. Like, I love escape rooms, they're so much fun. um, Board games, video games. There's so many girls in video games. And the issue is that a lot of men, the dads, don't really help incorporate their daughters into other things. For example, that's one thing my dad really did. I learned how to drive stick. I learned how to use an ATV. I was very comfortable, driving off into the desert, eating shit a couple times, getting back up, and then keep going. Like, I have a resilience that a lot of women don't have, because my dad instilled that in me. Now, can you force that into someone? No, you can't. You cannot force anything into anybody. But you can show them by being around them doing it. Like, you can show them by, instilling interest, right? You can show them by, doing it in front of them, being proud of your work. And then if they want to try it, guiding them through it, not yelling, not screaming, not being mean about it. Um, gently guiding them through it. I mean, even with my son, obviously, like when I have taught him how to cook and clean and all that stuff, he was bound to mess up. Sorry, I'm trying to find this light.